All right, what's up, YouTube? We're back. It's me, 90,
And your boy Amazing.
and we're back at it with you versus me. So today we're talking about our top 5 favorite movies of all time. So during this discussion, when we were planning for this discussion, we realized that a lot of movies actually have trilogies,
Yeah.
and if there's more than 3 movies, they have sagas. So we decided that the trilogy counts as one movie. So
If that makes sense to you.
and you guys will understand what we're talking about as we give you the list. So let me go first. I'm gonna give you my. We already had a conversation about this movie, so you guys, this is my all-time favorite movie, The Matrix.
Okay.
I think that movie was amazing at the time it came out. It was so advanced. The things that they did in that movie were so insane at the time that it came out that it was nothing was being done at that time like that. And
it was so great that they did parodies of that movie because it was so insane.
Yeah, he pointed out to me a couple days ago, movie Equilibrium. It's straight out bought off from The Matrix. What else? There's a couple movies that you can, if you pay attention to them, they're deliberately pulled stuff from The Matrix to finish those movies. Yeah, obviously my boy, I'm forgetting his name now.
Which one? For what?
Neo.
You're talking about Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, there you go, my bad. Sorry, Keanu, but Keanu Reeves killed it in that movie.
Yeah.
He's a great actor, period. If you guys have seen, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have seen his other movie, I'm blanking out right now.
Which one? Who are you talking about?
The other action movie for Keanu Reeves.
John Wick?
John Wick. If you guys have seen John Wick,
Yeah,
Keanu Reeves is killing it.
Yeah.
And he's been, not only has he killed it in John Wick, he killed it in Matrix, which means he's been doing this for years.
Right.
Keanu Reeves killed it in the Matrix. And that's why just all the action that there is in the Matrix, it's not like they have you sitting around. It's not like they have you sitting around for 2 hours with 10 minutes of action. No, at least 15 minutes go by before somebody gets shot or beat up in that movie.
So we doing our 5. Is that number 1 or?
For me, that's number 1.
Okay,
that's
so
my
it's
top
number
5.
1. Okay.
So
all right, my number 1 is Goodfellas. I like shoot 'em up gangster type movies, and that movie was incredibly. It was incredibly done, and I just love the way the cinematography was in that movie. The movement of the cameras in certain situations when they're walking, it was like a one take thing. You could follow the cameras, follow the actors. It was just an incredible movie for me. That was just number 1.
And that I gotta give props to that movie. It's Goodfellas is actually really underrated because of the fact that obviously it's a mob movie, and everybody, when you talk about mob movies, the first thing that comes up to your mind is The Godfather.
Right.
But
I thought we were gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but you went 1, so I guess I gotta go.
Oh no, my bad. No, I'm going top. No, yeah. Like I was saying,
you gotta go to the tippy top.
Like I was saying, that actually is a really great movie. Goodfellas, just because, like I said, when you think about mob movies, you think about Godfather. And the cool thing about Goodfellas was that it had humor to it.
Yeah.
Godfather did too, but Godfather was very serious.
Yeah.
Goodfellas, on the other hand, it was mobster type, but it was very funny as well. So it caught the attention of the audience. Like I said, it was very underrated. It actually took it was on Netflix for a long time.
I just love that movie.
And it took me a while to watch it, so I gotta give you props. That's actually a really good movie. You're right. He told me he was gonna surprise me with his number 1, and it did surprise me. Goodfellas is actually a really good movie.
Okay, what's your number 2?
So my number 2 is an all-time classic. I grew up watching this movie. It's Back to the Future. That movie, comics, science. Everything that a little kid growing up wanting to be a nerd, that movie kills it.
So you picking one?
Back to the Future, yeah. Actually,
Back to the Future.
I like 1 and 2.
Okay.
One.
I liked all 3. You know
three.
what? I like them in the order they came out.
Yeah, they actually
1, 2, 3.
From the 3 of them, my favorite one is the second one. Because the second one is
futuristic.
Because it's futuristic, yeah. But I really like how
Marty McFly.
The
Marty McFly's, those shoes is.
Those shoes are fly.
Yeah, man. You know they want like 1,000.
The resale value of those shoes I think are in the 1700.
Yeah, it's
And those shoes, dude, those shoes are almost $700 retail.
Yeah,
and they resell for like $1,700.
I'm still thinking about copping some.
Well, of course. I thought about it too. Trust me.
Because you know, I like my sneakers.
Yeah, he's a huge sneakerhead, so yeah, I know he wants some of those. Shoot, I wanted some too until I realized they were $700 retail price.
Oh wow!
But,
yeah,
but I mean, that movie, that movie itself is was a really good movie. And then when it came out, I think it came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
Late 80s and early 90s. It came out.
No,
the first one.
It was still 80s. It was
the
like,
first one,
like 88, 86,
so,
something like that.
Everything that they were able to put in that movie. Obviously, at that time, it was the arms race was going on, the space race, and for somebody to capture all of that in a movie, caught the attention of a lot of people. Okay. Obviously, I'm a millennial. I didn't see that movie until the 2000s.
Yeah,
and even then, that movie still caught my attention.
Yeah,
just the way it was able to capture the humor, but at the same time was actually it was actually able to introduce children to science. So I thought that other than that movie was really good. Okay. So Back to the Future is my number 2.
All right, I guess my number 2 would be Shawshank Redemption.
Okay,
I like that movie. Another great movie is about prison. Shows you what it's like inside the prison life. That was very detailed to me, and you know, it was just really deep.
Okay.
And the acting was great. I don't even think they even got an Academy Award for that.
No, they got nominated, but
they got nominated, but they never gave it to him. That really made me mad because that was really a good movie. But I liked it because you know, they showed
the storyline
of how it really was written. Yeah. In that type of life. Growing up, or not growing up, but being caught and having to be in the prison life. So to me, that was like deep.
Okay.
And that's my number 2.
That's a good pick.
I mean, I won't, you know, that's a lot of talking, but you know, people who will see this will know what that movie is.
Yeah. If you've seen that movie, you understand why he picked that movie. That's very deep, very moving movie.
That was my number 2.
Okay. So for me, number 3, I'm a millennial, guys. I'm sorry. My number 3 is Fast and the Furious. The first couple ones I thought were really great. Realized that for a child at that time that was really into cars, that movie brought out every single car you wanted to see.
Okay.
That movie was pretty much filmed in my backyard. So when I saw the LA towers in the movie, I got excited. When I saw those cars that I saw my older friends driving around in, I thought that was really cool. The first couple movies were actually really well written. The first one was a really good movie. The first Fast and the Furious.
Did you see them all?
Yeah, I've seen them all. Yeah.
I didn't see them all. I stopped at 3.
Yeah, like I said, the first couple movies,
and that's on purpose.
No, of course, yeah.
I couldn't do it. And to this day, I haven't seen
trust me, there's a lot of people. You're not the only one. There's a lot of people that lost interest after the. I want to say maybe the 4th and the 5th movie. A lot of people lost interest.
I'm gonna have to take your word for this, but go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of people lost interest for Fast and the Furious after the 4th and 5th one because a lot of people think it's very unrealistic, and it lost its essence. As we know, Fast and the Furious was a racing movie. It had action scenes. I'm
not gonna lie, I don't cut him off, but when I saw the first one, I liked it because it was new. At the time, there was no movie about racing and the underground making money, trying to do your thing. But then when I saw 2 and 3, I just was like, you know what? I don't know how to explain it. I just lost.
No, you're right, and you're right. It loses its essence right away because you're right. The first one, excuse me, guys. The first one was really good because, like you said, at the time, nobody was doing anything like that. Nobody was showing street racing. Nobody was showing how people were making money underground. Shoot, if you guys think about it, street racing itself, cars makes a lot of money. You can have a career out of cars. And Fast and the Furious actually showed how people made a living out of that. And it was really good movie. Like I said, nothing was being done at the time when that movie came out. And for people that like street racing, that movie, the first one had a couple races in it, which is really cool. You know what I mean? And it had a pretty good storyline until, like I said, later on in the movie, once they start going all over the place, bringing in like army and stuff, they were completely. I want to say got away from the original story, which kind of disappointed a lot of people. But I still think that at least the first couple ones were really good, and that's why Fast and the Furious is on my top 5. My number 3 movie, Fast and the Furious.
So it's all of them, or just half of them?
I want to say the first one. I really liked the first one.
Right.
The second one was okay. It was a good movie, and then Tokyo Drift was obviously Tokyo Drift was confusing because where did all these people come from?
Right.
Obviously they explain it to you later on, but even then Tokyo Drift was still a pretty good movie.
Okay.
Four I think is four might be one of my favorites. It's 4 and 1, and then 5 was still pretty good. After that they just went downhill. But
okay.
The Fast and the Furious movie, it's on my top.
Okay. Well, my number 3 is gonna be Boys in the Hood.
Oh, that's classic. Yeah.
Because that's my backyard. That's
Mhm.
literally where I grew up.
Yeah.
The school and the movie was Crenshaw. That's where I graduated from.
Okay.
So technically, I
That's
understand.
Yeah,
I understand everything
yeah.
about that. I understand everything about that movie. They're basically speaking my lingo in that
Mhm.
movie. So yeah, that movie definitely hit home to me because of all the realism in that movie. So Boys in the Hood is number 3. I won't get in too detailed about that, but Boys in the Hood is number 3 for me because that was literally where I grew up.
No, and that's dope, man. That's dope. And with him saying that, I'll go straight into my number 4 with Goal. He brings up how Boys in the Hood was how he grew up. For you guys that seen Goal, it's a soccer movie. It's about an immigrant kid that comes to this country, and playing soccer, he gets a chance and he
Never
makes
seen
it.
that movie.
Look it up. For you guys that haven't seen that movie, look it up. It's Goal. It's with Kuno Becker. It's actually a really good movie.
All right.
It's a sports movie. Sorry, like I said, immigrant kid that gets a chance, and he makes something out of it. It has a really touching story because he was good enough to do it, but the people that you wouldn't expect to hold him back are the ones that hold him back the most. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. A lot of if you haven't seen or heard about that movie, it's Goal with Kuno Becker. Really good movie. That's my number 4. Like I said, it touches hard because I grew up playing soccer. So when they bring out a movie about soccer, obviously I went to go watch it, and it was, like I said, it made my top 4. It made my top list. Great movie. For a long time, it was my favorite movie.
All right. Well, I'll go different. I'll go sports. I'm gonna go the movie The Program. It's a football movie.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's about college life and about how, you grow up and you're playing sports and they show you the underground of they pin you under the table. They show you how drugs is being used to enhance you to be a better player, and promising these young kids the world before they even make it to the pros.
That movie's insane, yeah.
And that movie is number 4 for me. And it's a sports movie, so I just went outside the box of what I started off with. But
Yeah,
that's
right,
one of
that
my
movie.
favorite. That's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, sports movie of all time.
And for us being sports fans, that just really touches on the fact that, yeah, a lot of people don't know that stuff really does take place.
That's why I
These
like it so
17, these at that time, these 15, 16, 17-year-old kids
much. I promised everything.
are promised the world.
Uh-huh.
And people don't realize, yeah, they can ball. These kids can play, but they're still children.
Mm-hmm.
What is a child gonna do with a $15,000 check?
Right.
Nowadays,
Blow it.
nowadays, $15,000 $15,000 might not sound like a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
but in the 80s, $15,000 was a big check.
Mm-hmm.
And what is a 15, 16-year-old gonna do that grew up in the hood with a $15,000 check?
Yeah.
He's gonna go to a
They're
club
gonna
and
run
blow.
through it. Yeah, they're gonna run through it.
And that movie shows you the reality of all that.
Yeah.
How these kids were being controlled by these powerhouses with that.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't grow up with anything, and out of nowhere they had it all. And unfortunately, some of these kids didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? So yeah, that's actually a really good pick. That's a really good movie.
Yeah.
So for me, my fifth one to top off the list is this is a classic. I know all of you guys have seen Forrest Gump. That movie is amazing.
I hate that we even did this video because this was really hard for me. Because we don't have nothing written down.
Mhm.
Everything we do is freestyle. We just talking, and you gotta go straight off the dome. What you remember that you liked growing up and what you relate to. So
So
go ahead.
Forrest Gump.
I love that movie. Channing.
It was Forrest Gump was was a really underrated movie for me for a long time. I actually didn't see it until I was older.
Really?
Yeah,
I seen that movie.
because obviously it's an older movie. Well, not yeah, it's a somewhat of an older movie. So it did. So I always heard about it, but it never caught my attention until one day I was driving with some of my friends, and they were talking about it, and they were like, "Why aren't you saying anything?" And I'm like, "Because I've never seen that movie before."
Right.
And everybody just looked at me like, "You've never seen Forrest Gump before?" I was like, "No, I've never seen Forrest Gump before. Doesn't catch my attention." And they were just mad at me. Like nobody talked to me for the rest of the trip. I didn't understand, and I think it's cool that you think that's funny, but
that's pretty funny.
When I finally watched,
such a great movie.
Yeah, when I finally watched it,
scold you for that.
I deserved it. When I finally watched Forrest Gump, I realized why they were so mad at me. Right. Forrest Gump is just the most feel good movie you'll ever watch, and not only is it feel good, not only does he have a great story. You guys gotta realize the humor in that movie. Yeah. This dude,
like he met Elvis.
Well, we're completely respectful to people with disabilities.
Right.
You get me? We're as positive as we can to them. I work with people with disabilities. I work with children.
I did when I was younger.
Yeah. See, so for a young man with a disability to do everything that he did is incredible.
Right.
Realize we know the movie is fictional, but think about it. This young man was technically in every single main event that happened in history.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny how they just slid that.
They just slipped him in every single big event in history.
Oh man, I don't want to start laughing.
He met John Lennon. He met two presidents.
He met Elvis.
He taught Elvis how to dance.
Yeah,
Elvis how to dance.
That was just
he was in the Black Panther movement.
Yeah.
He won a Heisman Trophy. This dude,
I'm trying to laugh on camera. That's hilarious.
This dude went to college and won a Heisman Trophy by accident.
One of my favorite scenes in that movie. This is off topic. When he was playing football and he was for Alabama, he was like this. He's just looking up, and they gave him the ball.
Run! Yeah. Realize this.
I was funny.
What people spent their entire lives training for, this dude did by accident.
He did everything by accident.
He got a scholarship to Alabama, which has always been one of the top football colleges in the U.S. And he won a Heisman Trophy by accident. He fought in the Vietnam War and got a Purple Heart by accident. This dude became a millionaire by accident. Yeah. He bought into Apple, which is now the most advanced, the most wealthy computer company in the world by accident.
Yeah, that's funny.
and everything, all of this was because of his positive attitude.
Right.
And the best part is, the whole time he's chasing his girlfriend.
Yeah.
You gotta realize how funny that is. The whole time, and I love how they end up together at the end.
Yeah.
How she recognizes her mistake. But the whole time,
she was out partying though.
No, that's fine. But
I'm not gonna get into it. But that's kind of messed up.
I know. Yeah,
how she came.
But I like how they showed how he was patient.
Yeah.
It showed how he loved her enough to wait for her.
I just felt like running.
Yeah, that's just the best. That's the best feel good movie ever. Forrest Gump is just, and I love the fact that it's historical as well. I mean, we know that everything was accidental, but it's very historical.
That was a dope movie.
It was a really good movie, and that's why Forrest Gump tops my list. It's just, that was one of the best feel good movies ever.
All right, well, my number 5 is, man, that's funny. I'm just gonna throw it in there because this is something that most kids shouldn't do. But I'm gonna throw Beverly Hills Cop 1.
Beverly Hills Cop, okay.
Beverly Hills Cop 1 is probably my number 5. Just because I learned that movie backwards. I know that whole movie backwards.
Okay.
And you shouldn't be using language like that at a young age. Because I remember I saw the movie at like 10.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
learned I remember one time I accidentally said a cuss word. And I didn't think, I thought I was by myself. And I did a glance over and my mama looked at me like,
ooh, you about to
get hit with all you get. So I was like, you know what, let me be quiet. But yeah, that movie's classic. I love it. Eddie Murphy is one of my favorite comedians of all time. But yeah,
Eddie Murphy.
I like Dallas Cowboy.
classic.
One of my favorite scenes in that movie is when he got thrown out the window.
Oh, that's a good one.
That
Yeah.
was so funny. He said, "Did you see that? I can describe all of them." And he was like, "Put your hands on the car."
Yep. See, no, he's got it. Yeah, I can see why that movie hits his list.
Yeah.
That was a really good movie.
And I don't want to sit here. That I could quote that movie backwards, but
Yeah.
that makes number 5. But you know, we freestyled this. I mean, we could have.
Oh, of course. There's a lot more movies. Like,
we could have went.
if you guys have been following our previous videos, you guys know how big of a Green Lantern fan I am.
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely could have been on my list.
Yeah.
As well as I know he loves Batman and Superman, so those could have ended up on his list too.
Yeah.
But like I said,
you want me to pick the tippy tops?
yeah, these are our top 5 movies. So
Yeah.
those are what we went with. Those are movies that we love. We fell in love with movies because of these movies.
Right.
You know what I mean? So hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the page. As usual, if you have any comments you want to put on there, go ahead. If you guys have anything you guys want to hear us talk about, as well, drop that in the comments.
And until next time,
This is 90.
it's amazing.
All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.